case is impact of jet on a series of flat moving plates. This one is very interesting one, and this is actually a part of our turbo machine subject, as if we are just now started to learning how exactly the energy transmission will occur in actual practices. So this one is first step towards that thing. Already we are studying all these things step by step in such a way that first of all we have found out how to get force, or we can say magnitude of the force, with the help of the data given related to that of your water, which has some sort of potential energy, and that potential energy after passing through the nozzle get converted into a kinetic energy. So now from that we can find out force exerted on different types of plates. Actually those plates are under consideration, that how the evolution related to that of your force transmission will occur for different bodies. That thing we have studied. Now here in the previous cases there is a kind of thing that we have allowed plate to move in a specific direction. Basically that direction is similar to that of the direction of force exerted. So from that we got a thing that is what we call as a work done, and from the work done we can find out the degree of energy transmission, that is from how much amount of energy is transmitted from kinetic energy which is available in the water to that of your work done, work as a energy. So that fraction of energy transmission, basically we are judging the quality. So that quality is judged, or we can say defined, with the help of a kind of factor, that is what we call as the efficiency, and that thing we have found out. Also we have considered very important thing, that what is the condition for maximum efficiency. So for different types of plates there are different types of conditions related to that of the velocity of the vane with respect of velocity of that particular jet. So all these things we have studied. Now here we are going to see the force exerted on this particular flat plate. So this one is flat plate, this is the flat plate, and such a type of flat plates are arranged on a wheel, or it also called as a runner in the language of turbo machine. This is what we call as a runner. Vane plus wheel assembly is what we call as a runner. So what will happen? So here the thing is similar to that of our previous cases. We have a nozzle. Through the nozzle water jet is coming, and that jet is going to strike this particular plate. As if the plate is free to rotate with this wheel, what will happen? After application of force in this direction, this plate is supposed to displace from this location number 1 to location number 2, and this 1 dash as a kind of presiding vane is going to take place, or we can say it is going to replace this plate which is at location number 1. So we will consider this A, B and C are nothing but the vanes. So what will happen when B moves from one location to two location? A comes in contact, or we can say comes in influence of the jet for further energy transmission. So this is how continuation of that particular vane replacement plus energy transmission will occur. Okay, so this is all about related to this particular diagram. Now this wheel is keyed. You can observe here there is a provision of key, and here there is what we call as a shaft. So this wheel is keyed to that particular shaft, so that we are getting some sort of energy output, that is what we call as a shaft power. So all these things are to be considered in this particular description. Now we will start the first thing, that is nothing but how to find out the mass flow rate. Now here is sort of difference is there. This is what we call as a control volume. The volume which is taken under consideration of energy transmission study. Now what will happen? This water is entering into this particular control volume with a mass flow rate m dot is equal to rho a v1. or for the sake of understanding we will just consider rho a v. It is entering here. While striking the plate is moving one in this direction and it is moving with velocity u. If we consider the angular velocity of this particular wheel into the radius, we will get the linear velocity of that particular vane. This linear velocity causes a kind of thing, that is this plate is moving with a velocity u from this location to this for this instant within this particular control volume. Now while striking, the velocity of the jet while striking the plate will be like this. The plate is moving one and the jet has velocity v. So while striking, the velocity of jet is v minus u. That is what we called as a relative velocity. Now this plate is displaces from this one location to this two location, and this A plate replaces from location 1 dash to 1. So this control volume where energy transmission is occurring remains at the same location, because as plate moves from this location to this location, there is no any influence of water jet on that plate will occur, and there is no any type of transmission will occur, energy transmission will occur. Means what? This thing, that is what we call as basically the transmission of energy is occur only within this particular location. So this is all about related to thing that we have to understand is that this control volume does not changes its location. The only thing is what? These plates are supposed to replace each other, and there is continuous energy transmission will occur. Okay, so here we have to consider mass flow rate as rho av. While entering to this control volume, this mass flow rate will remain constant. In previous case, the plate is single one. In the previous case of flat plate, instead of series of flat plate, we have single plate. At that time, this control volume itself is moving one. That's why we have to consider mass flow rate while entering into that moving control volume is nothing but rho a v minus u. At that time, we have considered, instead of v only, we have considered v minus u as a relative velocity or velocity to find out that mass flow rate. So this difference is to be understood. In many of the books, this particular clarification is not given with help of this particular control volume analogy. So I have tried to explore every bit related to that of your how the energy transmission will occur, as well as why these mass flow rate is to be taken as rho a v only and not rho a v minus u. Okay, so while striking the velocity of the jet is nothing but v minus u is nothing but basically v1x, and v2x obviously will become 0, because there is no any type of velocity after striking the plate in x direction. Okay, so we will directly write down that force formula. Fn is equal to m dot v1x minus v2x. Okay, so m dot is nothing but rho av, v1x is nothing but v minus u in bracket 0. Okay, so equation will be like this: rho a v minus u for force in normal direction. So this is all about related to that of force exerted on a series of flat plates. Now we will see that the very important thing, that how the work done is to be find out. Okay, so work done is equal to I hope you know that thing, force into displacement. So force is nothing but rho a v in bracket v minus u bracket complete into u. So this is all about what we call as the work done. And now efficiency. The efficiency is nothing but efficiency is nothing but output upon input. So in this case, output is work done, input is kinetic energy, work done upon kinetic energy in water. So this particular work done can be found out like this. Okay, now if we will consider important thing related to that of your maximization of work done, from where we are getting maximum work done. So this can be done. First of all, we will write down the efficiency formula, then after we will find out maximum work done, and then after we will find out maximum efficiency. So work done is equal to rho a v in bracket v minus u into u divided by 1/2 rho a v cube. So rho a v and all these things get cancelled out, and we will get that 2 into v minus u bracket complete into u divided by v square is nothing but efficiency. Okay, efficiency of the jet. Now maximum work done. Maximum work done is equal to, it can be given by, see, work done is equal to rho a v minus u into u. So dw upon du, because see, work done is a function of v and u, because rho and a are constant, so it will become a function of basically v and u. So this actually causes, because of the reason that jet velocity does not changes, so only thing that could be changed is nothing but u, that is what we call as the velocity of the wave. So because of that reason, we have taken the change in work done with respect of u. So d upon du of this equation rho a v minus u into u is equal to 0. So if we do that thing related to the taking derivative, so obviously taking derivative, these three are constant, so we will have a kind of thing, we will just try to derive that equation like this. Derivative is v is constant in bracket, u into v is nothing but uv, and its derivative is nothing but v. U into u, it will become u square, and their derivative is 2u is equal to 0. So if we take this rho a v on right hand side, so it will be like this, v minus 2u is equal to 0, or v is equal to 2u. This will be a condition where we are getting maximum work done. If we put this value in this equation, we will have work done that is nothing but max, that is what we call as the maximum work done, is equal to, by putting this value in this equation, rho a 2u in bracket 2u minus u bracket complete into u. So rho a, that will become 2u minus u is equal to u into u square into u is nothing but basically cube divided or into 2. Okay, so we will get 2 rho a u cube as a maximum work output. If we consider, we have to find out this work done in form of v, we have to just replace this u value in this equation by v, means what, u is equal to v by 2. So in the next page we will just try to find out that expression for maximum work done in form of v only. So u is equal to v by 2. Replace that value in this equation. W is equal to rho a v minus, now u has to be replaced as v by 2 into v by 2. So what you will get is rho a v minus v by 2 is v by 2 into v by 2. Okay, so v into v, it will become v cube, and it will become rho a v cube, and 2 into 2 is nothing but that 4. So this is what we call as a W max in form of basically V. So this is all about related to the concept when we have to find out maximum work done in case of basically a kind of we can say situation where we have to find out maximum work done in case of series of moving flat plates. Now maximum efficiency is to be find out. So efficiency also a function of, here you have efficiency is equal to what? I will write here that formula for efficiency. Here you have the efficiency formula as efficiency is equal to 2V minus U into U divided by V square. Now this efficiency is again function of V and U. So we cannot be changed. The thing that could be changed is nothing but basically U. So d eta by du is equal to d upon du of this whole equation. So 2 upon V square in bracket V into U. We will just try to multiply this equation minus U square. So here this whole quantity term is constant, so we will take it as a common. 2 upon V square, it has to be equal to 0 as per maxima. 2 upon V square d upon du of this whole quantity Vu minus U square is equal to 0. So what will happen? You will have to find out 2 upon V square, V minus U, its derivative is nothing but V minus U square has derivative 2U is equal to 0. So we will just take this value on right hand side. You will have V minus 2U is equal to 0, or V is equal to 2U, or U is equal to V by 2. So this is all about related to the condition for maximum efficiency. So if we put this value of basically V is equal to 2U in this equation of efficiency, we will get maximum efficiency. So we will just try to find out that maximum efficiency. So that maximum efficiency will be N max is equal to this value of U is to be put in this equation. So 2 V minus V by 2 into V by 2 divided by V square. So 2 into V by 2 into V by 2 upon V square is equal to this 2 to get cancelled out, and here we will get V into V square, and here we have a V square. So V square by 2 upon V square. So this V square get cancelled out, and you will have 1/2 into 100 is equal to 50% as the efficiency of the plate. And max, the plate which is connected in a series and the plate is flat one. So here is the thing, this type of plate, and for this type of plate, if we have a frictionless surface, etc., etc., all the things which are ideal one, even though at that time we will have kind of condition that maximum efficiency does not crosses 50% efficiency. Means what? If we are using flat plate, that flat plate will offers us 50% efficiency. So as if it is giving 50% efficiency, this type of water wheel, this is known as water wheel. So this type of water wheel or turbine are called as undershot water wheel, because they are giving less efficiency and it is under efficient type of systems. Thank you. Now the next case is impact of jet on series of curved moving vanes. Now these moving vanes, curved vanes, are actually symmetric one. Symmetrical curved vane. So when we have such type of symmetrically curved vanes, here we have a diagram of that curved vane. Here is the diagram. velocity v, it is striking at the center of this vein, and after striking the vein it deviates through an angle of theta. So here is the angle of that particular vein, theta, exit angle. So it deviates through an angle of basically 180 minus theta, angle of deviation. Now if we have such a type of condition, we have to find out the mass flow rate, then the force exerted on a plate, then we have to find out work done, and last one is nothing but we have to find out efficiency. So all these things are very common one in every type of case. The cases what we are looking in the next slides. Okay, so here we have a wheel, and on this wheel these vanes are attached. So here we have a control volume where energy transmission will occur. Now within this control volume, the mass which is entering into this control volume is nothing but mass flow rate of water, and it is given by rho AV. Rho AV stands for density, A stands for cross sectional area of this jet, and V is nothing but velocity of the jet. So within which we will get the mass flow rate in kg per second. So this is what we call as mass flow rate which is entering into this vein. Now the velocity of the vein which is striking. Now see, while striking this vein which is moving with velocity u, so here this u is nothing but u is equal to omega into r. Omega is nothing but angular velocity, r is nothing but the radius r. Okay, so we can show that radius r here as a r. So omega into r is nothing but linear velocity. So the linear velocity is nothing but the displacement of the vein from this location to the another location at that instant within this control volume. So what will happen? See, while striking VR1, or instead of that V1x, as if we have to find out force in x direction, while striking the plate the velocity will be v minus u. And here when that jet strikes this particular vein, it deviates through an angle of 180 minus theta degree, and it exits with the same velocity as if we have frictionless surface. It has two components, one is along y direction, another is along x direction. So v2x after striking the plate will be this component. So along x direction, because of this theta, this v1 minus u will be resolved as v1 minus u cos theta, and it has opposite direction, so that's why we have to consider minus v minus u cos theta as a component. Okay, so force is equal to F force Fn or Fx is equal to m dot into v1x minus v2x, and it can be written as m dot is equal to rho av in bracket v minus u minus of minus v minus u cos theta, bracket complete, and it will be written as Fn is equal to rho av in bracket v minus u, minus minus will become plus, v minus u 1 plus cos theta, and if we take this and this v minus u as a common, we will have rho av v minus u in bracket 1 plus cos theta, because this one and this whole quantity will be taken out. So this is what we call as a Fn, that is what we call as a force. This is what we call as a force. Now the work done is equal to force into displacement. So that force is rho av v minus u 1 plus cos theta, and the displacement is nothing but u, the velocity of that vein in the direction through which that force is being exerted. So efficiency is equal to output upon input. Output is work done and input is kinetic energy. So it will be like this: rho av v minus u 1 plus cos theta into u divided by 1/2 rho a v cube. So mass flow rate is rho a v, and if we consider that 1/2 mv square thing, so v square into that single v will become v cube. So this rho a get cancelled out. This v, instead of v cube we will have v square, and rearranging that equation it will be like 2 into v minus u 1 plus cos theta bracket complete into u divided by v square. This is the formula for efficiency. Now efficiency, maximum efficiency is d eta by du has to be equal to 0, is equal to, now we will just write down that equation in such a way that you may get that idea. Now we will just first of all take all the constants at the outside of this derivative into d upon du of this quantity and this quantity. So multiplication of those two values, v into u minus u square. So what you will get is nothing but at the end 2 1 plus cos theta into v square into v minus u, their derivative is v, and u square is equal to 2u. So is equal to what? 0. So now we have to find out a condition for maximum efficiency. So if we take this value on right hand side of this particular equation, you will have v minus 2u is equal to 0 or v is equal to 2u. So this is condition for maximum efficiency. Now we will put this value in the equation of basically efficiency. The equation of efficiency will have to be considered as this equation of efficiency, this one. So we will put this value in this equation. You will have plus cos theta into u divided by v square. So we will replace this v by 2u. So what you will get? 2u minus u bracket complete 1 plus cos theta into u divided by v is nothing but 2u bracket square. So what you will get is nothing but 2u minus u is nothing but u into 2u into this u is nothing but 2u square 1 plus cos theta divided by 4u square. So this u square get cancelled out, and you will have 2 by 4 is nothing but 1 by 2 1 plus cos theta. So this is all about related to that of your basically force exerted on a curved vane, symmetrically curved vane. If theta is equal to 0, when this happens? When we have this curved vane as a kind of, we can say, hemispherical vane. If this theta will become 0, it will become a kind of hemispherical or vane. For hemispherical vane, this formula indicates that cos theta is equal to 0. So cos 0 is equal to 1. So by putting this value in this equation, efficiency max is equal to this, actually a maximum efficiency, but for hemispherical vane which has theta is equal to 0, the maximum efficiency will be 1/2 1 plus cos 0 is equal to 1/2 1 plus cos 0 is equal to 1. It will indicate that 2 upon 2 is equal to 1 into 100 is equal to 100% efficiency. Means what? If we have hemispherical vane or series of hemispherical vanes series of hemispherical veins, here we have to consider hemispherical vein, it gives us 100% efficiency if we follow these as a condition for maximum efficiency. Means what? The velocity vein should be half of that of velocity of the jet. It should not be more than that of your velocity of the jet, and it should not less than that of your velocity of the jet. Thank you. The next and very important case is nothing but impact of jet entering tangentially any radial direction on a series of curved moving veins. Now these curved veins are unsymmetrically curved one. So here we have, as if we have already studied this particular diagram as if velocity triangle. So just sake of revision, we will see the water jet is striking this vein with velocity v1. The approach velocity is v1, which is making an angle of this particular direction of vein as a alpha. So when it strikes this particular v1 as a velocity with angle alpha, it approaches with velocity v1, but while entering it takes the direction which is defined by the angle theta, which is provided to this particular vein while manufacturing. So this is angle theta. So as if direction changes and as if this jet is entering into moving vein, we have to consider the relative velocity Vr1. Then after, this jet glides over this particular surface and it exits with velocity Vr2. Vr1 and Vr2 are same if there is a frictionless surface. Okay, and it is exiting as if we have theta as an inlet angle, the outlet angle will be a phi. These are the conventions that we have decided. Now the jet is moving with velocity, the vein is moving with velocity u because of the forward momentum. Instead of exiting the jet, water jet, instead of exiting with this direction of, we can say Vr2, it in actual practices will exit with v2 as if we have a kind of forward momentum. And we have taken the example of we are jumping out of the moving train or running train. At that time we take the forward momentum because of inertia, forward inertia. We are supposed to move for some distance with respect of that of your train. So same happen in this case, because of the moving vein the water jet is supposed to move in this direction. So it makes an angle of beta, as if inlet angle for absolute jet is nothing but alpha, for absolute jet at the outlet will be a beta. So absolute jets v1 and v2 have two components. One is along axis, another is along tangent to this wheel. Okay, so this one is wheel, and to the tangent of the wheel, this v1 has component vw1. This is what we call as a tangential component or a whirl component. From this v1, this particular component causes the thing that is what we call as a transmission of force. Similarly, here we have vw2 as a component of v2, the tangential component, and axial components are nothing but vf1. v1 has vf1 as axial component, v2 has vf2 as a axial component. R1 and R2 are nothing but radius of this particular wheel where these number of vanes are attached. So R1 stands for radius of that particular wheel at the inlet, and R2 is nothing but radius at the outlet. So this is all about related to that of, we can say, the diagram. Now we will start our discussions. First of all, we will write down very important thing. Here u1 and u2 are different in this case. Why? See, u1 is equal to omega into r1 and u2 is equal to omega into r2. As r1 and r2 are not equal one, that's why u1 and u2 are also not equal one. u1 and u2 can also be found out like this: pi d1n upon 60 and u2 is equal to pi d2n upon 60. Okay, so from this also we can find out velocities u1 and u2. Vr1 is nothing but relative velocity and is given by v1 minus u. Okay, so this is nothing but vector subtraction. Okay, vw1 is equal to v1. vw1 is nothing but it's basically component in x direction, so it can be written as v1 is equal to Vw1 is equal to V1 cos alpha and Vf1 is equal to V1 sin alpha. From this we can find out these two components. Okay, now we will just try to write down the equation for force. So force is equal to, now here in this case we have to consider a twisting force. What is twisting force? This is also known as torque. What is torque? Torque is nothing but rate of change of angular momentum. So what is angular momentum? Angular momentum is nothing but basically moment of momentum. So what is that thing? That thing is very interesting to understand. Now see, angular momentum at the inlet. First of all, we will just try to understand what is the momentum. Momentum at inlet will be like this. The mass flow rate m dot into the velocity which causes that particular momentum. So what velocity causes? This component of velocity causes the momentum. So it will become Vw1, and the momentum at outlet will be, this one is for inlet, m dot into Vw2. Okay, so these two momentums are there. Now what we need to find out? Angular momentum. To find out angular momentum, we have to take their moments. Moment is nothing but that quantity into the perpendicular distance from the center. So perpendicular distance is nothing but for angular momentum at inlet will be momentum at the inlet into this angular distance. So momentum at inlet into the perpendicular distance is r1. So it will be written as m dot Vw1 into r1. Similarly, angular momentum at outlet is equal to momentum at outlet into r2. So it will be written as m dot Vw2 into r2. Okay, so here equation number 1 and equation number 2. And torque is what? Rate of change of these angular momentums. So this can be written with the help of directly a torque equation like this. The torque will be is equal to rate of change of angular momentum, and it is given by basically m dot Vw1 into r1 minus m dot Vw2 into r2. Now in this case we know that Vw2 is in opposite direction, that's why this minus minus will become plus. Okay, so here in positive x direction, this one is in negative x direction, or we will see that particular thing in a brief later on. So energy or sharp power is nothing but torque. That is what we call as the twisting force into angular displacement. Angular displacement. Basically energy is nothing but work energy. So work energy is equal to force into displacement. Here torque is nothing but twisting force. Angular displacement or displacement, here we have to consider angular displacement. So that can be written as m dot Vw1 into r1 plus m dot Vw2 into r2, as if we have considered the torque, into omega. Omega is nothing but what we call as angular displacement. So m dot we will take common, Vw1 into R1 into omega plus VW2 into R2 into omega. Okay, so already we have written that particular thing here in this particular equation as u is equal to u1 is equal to omega into R1 and u2 is equal to omega into R2. So we can say that this and this quantity as u1 and u2. So m dot vw1 into u1 plus vw2 into u2. So this is what we call as a work done energy. This is what we call as a work energy. So its unit is also joule, or we can say not joule, it is a watt, where m dot is rho a v1. Now efficiency is equal to, now we can directly write down that thing as m dot get cancelled out, or we will write m dot into vw1 into u1 plus vw2 into u2 as outlet, or we can say output energy, and input energy is 1/2 m dot into v1 square. So m dot get cancelled out and you will have 2 vw1 into u1 plus vw2 into u2 divided by v1 square as the efficiency of this particular series of moving vanes.